Hey everyone, this is Mickie James, and you're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio.
Chevrolet pickup truck, American made, that's how I was raised up. I like the boys with the southern drawl.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Interactive Wrestling Radio here on WrestlingEpicenter.com. Joining us on the line, the one and only Mickie James. Mickie, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. I got to tell you, I've had a chance to do a little research leading into the interview, and I checked out some clips from Strangers and Angels, and I really enjoy what I'm hearing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
How have you been satisfied with the reaction to the album so far?
The reaction's been really good, like from the fans to the reviews that it's gotten. It's just been positive all across the board, so.
And I did read that there was
pretty
some,
awesome.
Country music magazines are giving you reviews, and, there seems to be a little bit mixed, but more positive than negative, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely, so.
Where did the desire to enter the realm of music while you're such a solid name in wrestling to kind of start at square one once again in the music business? Where did that desire come from?
Well, I've always loved music. I mean, I played the violin for years when I was in high school, and I actually, ever since I was a little girl, I used to run around my house, with my microphone and my boombox, and I would record myself. So I always wanted to sing. I just, I was never, professionally trained or anything like that, and I started writing music, or just, writing these, lyrics as I was on the road with WWE, because, you get a lot of time to yourself. You're on the road 250 days out of the year, so. I started writing and stuff, and then I was like, well, why not? I've always wanted to do it. Why wouldn't I at least try, So here we are.
Here we are. Now,
yeah.
Chris Jericho obviously is another guy who does music as well as wrestling. Lillian Garcia obviously as well, Lita. All these guys keep doing it, and Chris Jericho is the only one who really keeps on going with wrestling and does the band on the side. So you hoping to be the next one of that, to be able to do a little bit of both?
Well, right now I'm still wrestling. Eventually, hopefully, I can wrestle, maybe retire eventually, but I don't know. I guess it just depends on how it plays out, but I'm still, new at singing and stuff, so I'm constantly building my fan base and luckily, all my fans from wrestling still, are completely behind me 100%, and then I'm still wrestling here and there now, I'm wrestling Awesome Kong in, 2 weeks, or, was it October 9th, I believe? Or 2nd. Yeah, so, yeah.
Very cool.
There's a way to do both. Yeah.
So a wrestling question for you. I actually first saw you back when you were working for a company called BBOW, way back in the day, back in 2001, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I'm one of the fans who've been watching you for a long time, even before WWE. And
well, thanks.
How is it when you finally got to the big dance to be on the WWE TV? How was the difference in performing in front of that kind of an audience instead of an audience more of like a smaller independent?
Oh, it was surreal. Just to go from wrestling in front of, 100 people here and there to, 1,000 to 10,000 to 90,000 people. I mean, that's just crazy. And plus it's something that I worked so diligently and so hard at for so many years to finally make it. It was definitely a huge accomplishment in my life, and just the moment itself, just even at WrestleMania, my first WrestleMania was just outstanding. I was, because it was definitely a long road to get there. So
I actually had a question about that. In our preview show for that WrestleMania 22, when you faced Trish, we said that your feud going into that show was the longest-running one going in. I mean, you guys really had some back build to it. And did you feel that there was any extra added pressure on you guys, since you guys did have the longest story going into the show?
No, I mean, I think that we were so comfortable in what we were, because we'd taken all this time that we just totally embraced the moment. Yeah, sure, it was a lot of pressure. I mean, I think just going in, it was a lot of pressure. I mean, it's my first WrestleMania. There's, thousands of people, and I'm, winning the championship for the first time, so the whole moment in itself was just incredible. And then, you just kind of have to embrace the crowd. I think it was at that point we knew each other's characters so well and knew, you know, where the story was going so well that it was just, you know, us going out there and, I don't know, it was awesome. I mean, it's hard to explain. Unless you're in that moment, it's hard to explain the enthusiasm and the electricity that, you know, goes through you.
Do you get that same electricity when you go on the musical stage?
Yeah, absolutely. And see, you know, the difference is like, you know, I think that in wrestling you're driven on pure, you know, it's all emotion, but wrestling you're driven on adrenaline and just raw passion because it's such a physical sport, whereas music you're so vulnerable and you're just like pouring out your heart and soul. So for me, it's like, you know, I think my fans get to see a whole different side of me that they would, the part that they didn't know, you know, on the screen.
And of course, we saw you do some acting as well. Actually, ironically, leading into the interview, I was just watching my Psych DVD box set, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's Mickie James! I can't escape her." So, did you enjoy getting involved in the acting side of things as well?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Like that whole character, you know, they kind of wrote that character around me or whatever, and it was just an honor to do it, and it was a lot of fun. And acting's fun because it's the same kind of deal where you have to totally embrace and get involved with this character and become that character while you're on that screen. So
very cool.
Yeah.